Well, hello everybody. It's Mr. Yurko here, and we are going to be talking about Onshape today. Onshape is a three-dimensional modeling software. Onshape will let us create real-world objects that we can print out using our 3D printers or create plans from, so we can build them ourselves using hand tools or send that information over to CNC robotic machines that can cut the parts out for us. Onshape is a full-featured CAD modeling software, and it is all online and it is free to you, which is really great. If you have not already signed up for an Onshape account, you need to go to onshape.com/signup, as you can see here at the top of my screen. And when you get to that page, you're going to click on Onshape Education, follow the instructions to sign up for an Onshape account. You're going to want to use your school email address to do that, and just put in the school phone number when asked for the phone number. You don't need to give them your personal information. Once you've done that, you're going to sign in. Signing into Onshape, this is their main homepage, and right off the homepage you can see some animations of some of the really awesome things we're going to be able to create. Those products that you're looking at are pretty impressive, and they can be a little intimidating to look at up front. But we're going to walk you through from the very, very beginning so you can get yourself modeling quickly and comfortably. So once you sign in, you're going to come into your account. Your account's going to look kind of like this. Yours won't have any models in it yet, but you will be able to see your name in the upper right-hand corner. You'll be able to see the Onshape homepage right here. We'll get you right back to this page, right back to this screen. You'll see the Create tab, which will let you create new things. And then you'll see your folder library on the left. Details about the document or object that you're clicking on pops up on the right. And here's a list of documents that you have recently created. We're going to go, just for the sake of showing you how things work in here, first I'm going to give you a little tour of a model that I've already created. So in this case, you see here, I've got this model of a plate, a goblet, and a apple. So when I click on that, now I've already created this. I'll teach you how to create these in a later lesson. But right now we're just doing a tour. You can see when I open it up, the plate shows up. I have the ability in here to create individual parts like this cup, like this apple, and like this plate. And we have the ability to take those individual parts and put them together into assemblies. Once they're in the assembly, we can make it so that they can move around. We can make it so they're animated, or we can make it so they stick together, like this plate and cup are stuck together. So I created each of those individually, and they are now joined together in one. So these are some of the things we're going to be able to do today throughout the course of our lessons. I'm going to go back to my main Onshape page by clicking on the Onshape logo in the upper left-hand corner. And we're going to create a new document. Now, if you're going to, for your assignments and lessons, we typically create new documents. And right here we go. Let's start that new document. Let's call that new document Getting Started. So this is your first document. As we look at our first document, you can see our tools that we're going to use are along the top and along the left. We can add new parts at the bottom. Right now you see we have Part Studio 1. That's the part we're in. And for the sake of this lesson, we're going to rename that by right-clicking on Part Studio 1. We're going to hit Rename, and we're going to just call that Box. Not a particularly exciting name, but it does the job. So we're going to create a new sketch to get this thing started. Sketches are the basic thing that we always want to create. in order to get started. All of the geometry that you're going to build is going to be based off of sketches. Once I click the sketch tool, I need to tell Onshape which of the 3 planes that I want to create on. Onshape comes set up with 3 coordinate axes or 3 sets of planes to choose from. You can see that the front plane corresponds to the front on the cube over here, and the top plane corresponds to the top on the cube here. This cube is your friend. It allows you to rotate around to different places in 3D space. So get comfortable with the cube. Also get comfortable with moving your screen around by holding the right mouse button down and just moving your mouse. And you can move the whole system around by pushing down on your mouse wheel. So right now we're going to go to the front and then click on front so that we can see that. I've clicked on front on my view cube. We're on the front plane. We're going to draw a box. There's a couple different ways to draw boxes, and we'll get more into that later. But first, we're just going to click on the corner rectangle and drag a rectangle. Once I've dragged a rectangle, if I'm happy with the sketch, once you're happy with the sketch, just click the check mark. Do not click the check mark or the X until you're done with a sketch. This box is not going to go away until you're done. If it goes away before you're done, your sketch will go away. You'll have to do it again. All right, so now we have a sketch. If I want to go back and modify my sketch, all I got to do is double click on my sketch, and it brings me right back into it. Then I can grab the features and pull and do whatever modifications I want. Move it around and modify. Hit the check mark when we're done. Now that we have the box created or the rectangle created, we're going to do something like we like to do when we were little kids. You probably all had various Play-Doh toys when you were little, and one of them that I enjoyed when I was a kid was the Play-Doh Fun Factory. Play-Doh Fun Factory, you took a lump of Play-Doh, you put it in a box, and then you squeezed really hard, and out came the Play-Doh in neat shapes, stars and hearts and rainbows and all kinds of nifty stuff. That procedure of taking a lump of clay, pushing it through a hole of a particular shape, that hole is called a die, pushing that Play-Doh through the die to get a shape that you want, that's called an extrusion or extruding. We're going to do that right now. We have a feature here called extrude. You can hold the shift key and the E key, or you can click to get this tool to pop up, or you can just click this button and then click the area that you want to extrude. Once you click the area that you want to extrude, you can go ahead and pull and hit the check mark, and that failed miserably. All right. You see that I made a mistake, and I'm not happy with what I did. You are going to have some challenges as well. You can always hit Control Z to get back one step. Control Z is the undo button. Of course, there's an undo button right up here. So we're going to try it again. I'm going to hit that Control, and now I click on my feature, and look, my box pops up, and I can pull the arrow to go to where I want to go. So for this very first activity, all you need to do is create a box. Woohoo! Champion of the world! So now we've just created a box. If I want to add a new shape, I come down to the bottom, hit the plus sign here, click and create a new part studio. And we're going to call this new part studio. By renaming it, we're going to call it cylinder. We're going to go up to our sketch again. We're going to pick a plane that we want to create our sketch on. We're going to grab the front plane again. I like the front plane. We're going to grab our circle. We're going to draw a circle. Hit the finish sketch when we're done. And extrude again. Click our cylinder, our circle, and pull the arrow out to create a cylinder. Woohoo! Champion! Again, 2 scores. So we've now managed to produce 2 things. We've got a box and a cylinder. In a later lesson, we'll come in and play with assemblies and show you how to put those things together. All right, folks. Go ahead, try this on your own, play around with the software, and don't forget to be awesome.